I'm on mute. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop. Let me go live on Facebook or Instagram here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's workshop where we are going to be diving into the ways that we can integrate modern and also natural healthcare. And the reason why I feel like this is so important is because if you're dead set on one thing, no matter if it's modern or if it is natural healthcare, you're going to close off tools that could be super helpful to your health and to other people's health, honestly. So I want to dive into that today. We're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about the roles both of these play, and we're also going to be talking about how to start in this. So the intent behind this class is simply to expound on the conversation that was already started on my recent post. I posted that my daughter recently had strep and I had to give her an antibiotic, and how I sort of felt guilty for that, and how sometimes I feel like there is sort of this cliche whenever someone that is very passionate about natural health shares something, they had to kind of turn to modern medicine, and I kind of felt shame around that and almost didn't post. And so it really got some good feedback and some good comments, and so I wanted to kind of dive into this more because I feel like this is something that we can, no matter where you find yourself, if you're more in tune with, if you're just used to modern medicine, you don't really know a lot about natural ways, or if you kind of are the opposite, you really don't like to have to resort to modern medicine. Either way, I think this class will benefit you because I feel like I said, if we kind of shut our minds off to one or the other, we can really leave some valuable tools on the table. So let's dig into this. First, I really want to talk about mindset, because mindset is something, from the outside looking in, it can seem like someone similar to myself. We share all kinds of information about natural tools and ways that they can be used. Somebody like myself could be completely against modern medicine. It's easy to think that. And I feel like that's kind of where the mindset around this really gets a little bit skewed. And so I'm going to kind of dig into that. And that could definitely be said for somebody that is just, maybe they have a career in modern medicine, maybe they just really believe in it for whatever reason there is. I feel like either one of those all or nothing mindsets could definitely leave some valuable tools on the table that can really, really help you in your health. And so that mindset is not serving anyone, and it really can be dangerous to our health. Like I said, if you are all one or all the other. So as a pharmacist, I'm extensively trained in modern medicine, specifically pharmacology. And if I were to go off the information that I learned in pharmacy school, or what, if I was just in the pharmacy world, if I just kind of continue to be fed that and only listen to that, I would really not be open to many natural tools. I don't know if many people know that, but most doctors, most nurses, most pharmacists, most people in the medical field, we're not trained in natural medicine at all, really. There was maybe one class on herbs, I think, and a little bit was said about diet. But that's all I remember. And so whenever you kind of have to look at that and think, well, if your doctor doesn't seem very open to this, it's probably because he doesn't know much about it. So he's not going to go recommending that you use X, Y, and Z if he doesn't know anything about it. So I just want to kind of make sure that you understand that we don't get much, if any, training on natural tools that can be used, which is unfortunate. I hope, and I feel like that it is going to come around that they'll be taught more of that when they go through school now, because it is becoming more prevalent, it is becoming more studied and more respected. So I really hope that our medical professionals that kind of come about in the next 10 years will know a lot more about natural ways that we can support our body. That is my hope. But as of now, I wanted you to kind of know where the mindset is coming of certain healthcare professionals. They just don't have the training in this. And so let's talk a little bit about modern medicine and kind of what its role should be and what the mindset should be around it. So modern medicine, obviously, it's a key tool to be used, but it's not a crutch or a Band-Aid. And a lot of times we treat it like that just because we don't know any better. That's our mindset around it. If we're sick, we go and get a prescription. But having the knowledge to know the difference between those two is really key. Knowing the difference that it can be used as a key tool, and it can be used as a crutch or a band-aid, and kind of being real with yourself. What am I using this as? If you currently are using modern medicine and are really kind of bought into that, let's say, just because that's all you know and that's what your doctor has shared with you, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either one. I just want you to kind of realize that. And it's the mindset that goes along with this that I hope that you can kind of wrap your mind around the mindset. Yeah, I get it. So by key tool, I mean, it's not something that should be used first line. It's definitely something that you should have kind of like in your back pocket and pull it out when you need it. We should have key habits and lifestyle choices in place that support the body in doing what it's trying to do. Like that's how it should be used in the first place. And it kind of got skewed. We'll talk a little about that in a few minutes. But listening to our body is super key in having the mindset of I'm going to listen to what my body needs and respond to it. And I will say as a whole, that's why I do the work that I do, because far less people know how powerful natural medicine can actually be. And they think modern medicine is kind of like their only go-to. They might use something natural if it's not real bad. But if something kind of gets to the point that, okay, I'm not going to play around anymore. I'm going to use, what I know will work. I'm kind of the opposite. Natural medicine is my go-to, and I'll use modern medicine only as a have. Sorry, I had an incoming call. Only as a have to when all the other options have been exhausted. I hope you can still see me on Instagram. There we go. So let's talk about the roles these two different approaches can really take in our lives. This is such an important topic for both people in each camp, let's say, because when you're when you're dead set on one thing, no matter if it's modern or natural medicine, you kind of close off a lot of tools that can be helpful. Modern medicine was never meant to play such a large role in our health. It really wasn't. That's kind of why we find the healthcare system in the shape that it's in. The model of healthcare is meant to be 20% or less of our needs, and 80% is supposed to be kind of on us. Preventative self-care, listening to our body, feeding it the right things, moving, using natural tools, those types of things. But right now, where we live, in the world that we live in now, it's actually been flipped. So a lot of people, the majority of people, actually rely on it for 80% of their needs, and only 20% is really, they kind of think, well, that's kind of my job. And so that, like I said, that's really why the system is in the mess that it's in. And they were always meant to be used together, honestly. But somewhere along the way, we kind of got off track. And, it kind of seemed harmless, probably. This was, maybe it was an easier or quicker route to use modern medicine. And so we started using natural and preventative types of approaches less and less because, hey, this was the easier thing to do. I'm just going to take the pill. I'm just going to go to the doctor and see what he says and get the prescription and take the pill, and it'll be better. And I think that you can see where that's gotten us. But I just want you to think back, honestly, and just think about, I remember when I was a child, like we didn't go to the doctor very much. And I don't think my parents did either. I think that we just kind of tried to be preventative. We ate at home a lot. We didn't use a whole lot of like natural medicine type of like oils or supplements or things like that. But we really did try to kind of wait it out and just kind of see what the body was going to do versus just running to the doctor and getting a prescription just to kind of hurry things up, let's say, or just because we didn't trust what our body was doing. So I think that over time, I mean, I'm 38, just turned 38. So within the last 40 or 50 years, I kind of thought it's really, really shifted into the fact that, we do just want to go to the doctor and we do just want the quick fix. And, maybe we don't think of it as a quick fix. Maybe we think of it as the only fix. But I hope that in this, what I'm sharing with you today, that you'll hopefully change your mindset a little bit on this and just see maybe where the roles of each of these tools, where they should be in place, right? And so I will say, though, to those of us who are way more naturally minded, I don't think it has to look like giving in if we have to use modern medicine. And honestly, I'm so passionate about natural healthcare. I think that it can honestly do so much more. And it's so much more powerful than a lot of people realize. And so I'm passionate about it. I want to share it with people. I want to use the tools myself. And so sometimes I feel like I've failed if I have to turn to other means, like for instance, with the antibiotic with my daughter, or maybe, something with myself. If I've tried all the natural things and it maybe just still isn't getting better, there is no shame in that. I think that's definitely something that the enemy tries to just pit against us, because he knows how passionate I am and God gave me that passion. But I definitely don't think it has to look like giving in. I think that it really has to do with how in tune you are with your intuition and with using and feeling confident in the tools that you have, but also knowing, okay, this is not getting better. It's a little bit, I kind of feel like I know what I'm dealing with. Maybe go to the doctor and see what you're dealing with, and then make the decision. Okay, am I going to continue to treat this at home and use my natural means and kind of rest and, nutritious foods and water and all that, or do I need, other means as far as like a prescription or something like that? So my first advice would just be to pray about it. I think that's so, so key. God is going to lead you, but you have to be open and willing. And I think that that's really a part that we leave out, just as far as the intuition, and really see, what is God trying to teach me through this? Because he made our bodies so wonderfully, and he really made them to give us warning signs, and to not ignore whenever our body is kind of giving us these signs. A lot of times we don't know what to look for, perhaps, or we're just so used to going to doing X, Y, and Z that we don't even realize, okay, our bodies kind of speak to us here. We try to ignore the symptoms. We don't think they're a big deal, but we can't keep doing that. We can't keep pushing through. If you really want to honor the roles that both of these should have, if you really want to change your mindset, it really starts here. It really starts with, okay, maybe I used to turn to X, Y, and Z thing when I didn't feel good, or when I have an ache or a pain, or whatever it might be. But hey, I heard Carrie talking about maybe there might be another way to do this. And we're going to talk about how you start with this, and it's not just going in it blindly. Like, we're not just going to sit and wait necessarily. We're going to use our tools, so we're going to talk about that as well. But this is a step that a lot of people skip, and they ignore these signs. There's always signs before something, I say big, happens, right? You get the diagnosis, or you have the sickness, or this and that. There are always signs. And I think that as we start to do this more and more, we can see that our body we know our body better. And as we look to take better care of our body, we can tell when something's going on. I can tell right away when I feel different. I can now, and maybe I didn't used to back then, but that's just something that comes with this practice of really not just jumping to the first conclusion, right? Or just doing that jerk reaction that maybe we're used to. We maybe take a little bit more time, maybe have a little bit more intention with that. But definitely being sensitive to what your body's trying to tell you will take you so far, and really looking to take more of an integrative approach. And I really love talking about this integrative approach, because I really feel like it looks at the whole body without just looking and treating the symptoms, because there's always something else that's kind of connected, and kind of trying to figure that out. That's really interesting to me. But that's our body is made in an integrative whole way. We should look at our whole body and see what it's trying to tell us. That's really, really key. So just for instance, how can they be used together? This is something that, again, I shared with a little bit about in my recent post that kind of sparked this class or workshop. So for instance, if you do have to give your child or yourself an antibiotic for whatever reason, it doesn't like, if for me, okay, I'm using all these natural things, I have to give her an antibiotic, well, I'm just going to quit everything I was doing. No, it definitely doesn't look like that. I'm still going to take an integrative approach to helping her to feel better and to recover, and helping her body to heal itself. So if you're having to turn something like an antibiotic, you can continue to support your body with dealing with those effects, because there will be effects and side effects from those antibiotics. You can definitely count on that. If at just the very least, it's going to disrupt the gut bacteria, which is very, very key to your whole entire health. And so that's a whole nother topic for a different day. But while you're taking the antibiotic, you can totally support your gut in healing and in dealing with those effects from the antibiotic. So also to help it work better, you can continue to use your tools like supplements, like essential oils. For instance, oregano is also known as nature's antibiotic. And so it'll actually help the conventional antibiotic work that much better when you use them together. So I just want you to see how they can totally be used together. Maybe you are someone that is just getting into using supplements, oils, natural means, let's say, and you're like, okay, I can't give up maybe the Tylenol or the ibuprofen when my son has or child has a fever, or I do, or I'm going to take the antibiotic because I feel like my child needs it. I'm just not there yet, basically. I just want you to know that it's going to be so much better if you can support the body while they're taking that conventional treatment, while they're using that modern medicine. Continue to use your tools. Your body is going to be so much more better equipped to fight off things in the future, especially just talking about your immune system, if you support it naturally. Now, whether that's completely naturally, it'll be that much stronger, or whether that's kind of half and half. You're using conventional medicine, but you're also using nature's medicine. It's going to help your immune system be able to be that much stronger, versus just saying, well, I'm just going to use I'm not going to use any natural medicine because I just don't feel like I'm there yet. Hey, that's how you start the shift. That's exactly how you start. And so I just want to share that with you because I feel like it's very important. So many people are in, it's just all or nothing mentality, and that really doesn't serve us in anything, honestly, and definitely not this. So as a whole, nature's medicine will work with your body in aiding it what it was already trying to do. So seeking to bring balance to the body, and overall, essential oils and most supplements will work with your body in helping it function at a higher level. So I want to encourage you to talk to your provider about this. That's kind of one of the first ways that you start this. So let's kind of move into that. How do you start integrating natural and modern medicine? So at this point, if you find yourself a little bit too much dependent on on modern medicine, how can you start to shift things? Because like you've seen, they can totally be used together. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I think so often we're either labeled, maybe you see people that just are all about natural medicine. You think they're like crunchy and you don't want to be like your crunchy friends. Like you're just like, you think that's kind of, it's just way out there. This is how you start. You don't like go over to that overnight, right? You maybe have your things in place that you like to use, but you add in things, and you can see how you can start to listen to your body more and use those things to support them. So maybe you don't get in that situation as much where you do have to use conventional medicine, and it just slowly over time changes, and you start to see that, hey, this stuff actually works, and then you begin to use it more and more and integrate it into your life, and over time you're going to have to find what works best for you. But that's exactly how you start. You just have to start, right? So let's talk about that. So first, I mentioned talking to your doctor, because especially if you're on a lot of medications, I do not give out medical advice. Your doctor knows you better, your medical history better than anyone else, right? You know your body better than anybody else, but he knows your what medications you're on and such as that. And so I would highly recommend that you approach your provider and say, like, these are my goals. I would really love to use less modern approach, use more natural approach. And here's what I'm thinking about doing. And just letting them know that you want to do this right off. I mean, who knows? They might have a great experience with natural medicine, but you've never mentioned it before. Or maybe they don't know a lot about it, but just coming from this approach is a really great way that you can partner together. And so they know what you're doing, and you're all on the same page. But definitely with medications, you can't just come off those, right? That's not safe. And so you definitely need to make sure that you're letting them know that you want to do it in the right way, and so you can partner together in that. You're most likely want to, step 2 in your guide to kind of starting is you're going to want to get integrated with a community of like-minded people that are, they're trying to use more natural means, and you're going to want to get with somebody that can guide you through that, because it can be really overwhelming. And honestly, I just remember, I guess it was about 10 years ago, I really wanted to take a more natural approach, and I definitely was not one that would just go to the doctor for any little thing. I wasn't that way, but there were different things that were coming up that I didn't know what to use, and I didn't really have many other choices rather than just go get an OTC product or something like that. And I just really didn't want to do that. I wanted to be more preventative in my health. And it wasn't until I got to be a part of a community and I really had somebody that I could ask questions to. And that's something that most people think they don't need. They can just, maybe they've seen somebody share something online, or they can read an article or whatever it might be, and they can figure it out themselves. I'm totally that person too. Like I'm very resourceful. I can Google anything, right? I mean, I can kind of figure things out, but with this, it's a little bit different. You want people that have personal experience, or maybe if they don't have personal experience themselves, they have a community that they can go ask, or that you can go ask. That's very important to me. I don't want to just Google, random things, and who knows, like, I don't know those people. I don't know what they're using, if it's quality or not. It's just really important that you get connected with the right person in the right community. Going in this blindly and just trying to figure it out yourself will often leave you frustrated, and it will probably make you revert back to your old ways. I'm just going to stick with whatever I know. And most likely that's probably modern medicine, honestly. And so that's not what I want. I want you to be able to use both, or either just, like I said, use the 80-20. 80% of the time we use natural means, we use preventative measures, and then 20% of the time, or hopefully less, you have to turn to modern medicine, or you need to turn to them. So obviously you're going to want to have the tools. I mean, like I said, this approach doesn't mean you just sit around and twiddle your thumbs and think, well, Carrie told me I needed to wait and I need to listen to my body. Well, I'm listening to it and it's telling me that, my head hurts, or I'm feeling tired, or my throat hurts, or whatever it might be, right? There's symptoms with that come along. So you're going to want to have the tools. Some of the main tools that I use in the natural approach would definitely be diet. Number one probably is diet. Movement, obviously stress reduction is key in this overall. If you're thinking, integrative approach, supplements, and definitely essential oils. Those are the top 5 things that I use as far as more of a natural medicine type approach to really anything that comes up, to be honest, you guys. I love helping people in this. Like, this is what I've been called to do. I'm passionate about it. I've been through my own I had my own experiences, and I firmly believe in the tools that I can provide, and the education and the value that I bring to the table in being your guide in this. And the community, it's like none other. That is the community that I was introduced to about 8 years ago. And to this day, those are the people that I call. I do. I'm like, so what do you think about this? What have you done for this? What have you used for this? Did it work? Just these people are a wealth of knowledge. Like, Google ain't got nothing on these people. So I just think it's so important, because that's where we can go off straight, is that if we don't have somebody to ask these questions to, what are we going to do? We're going to use what we've already used before that has worked, and we're going to go along with our way. We're going to think, I'm not confident in doing this. I don't know enough. I'm overwhelmed, and I'm just going to make this more simple by using what I've always used. And I just don't want you to be stuck there. I don't. And so I honestly have realized recently that I don't only want to help, and I say only, I do want to help health-minded people become smarter. I do. I want to teach them more about different ways that they can be healthy, or different things that they can do in their lifestyle. But I also want to open more eyes to this lifestyle. I want to bring more people in and teach them how to take this approach, because I feel like if you look around in our world, we are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And it breaks my heart. It really does, because I just shared about this in a post the other day. We're not going to be in a good position in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe even 5 years. It's not looking good. So we need to take a different approach. And like I said, it does not have to be all or nothing. You don't have to want to go as natural as I want to go. I just want you to know that. Whenever I got somebody, I ask them, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And I help them in that. I don't say, well, here's what I did. Why don't you do the same thing? That's not what a guide is supposed to do. And so I just want to encourage you with that. And I honestly see this as the only way forward. If we really want to become healthier in general, and not just become sicker and sicker and sicker. I don't understand how we're becoming more educated and have more technology, but yet we're becoming sicker and sicker. And I really think it's that our system is not set up to promote health. It's only set up to stop the bleeding. It's only set up for like catastrophic. It really is. And so that's why I share this. That's why I do what I do. And so I just want to encourage you, if you find yourself, you want to learn more about this, you need a guide, you need a community, maybe you already have that, and that is awesome. And I just encourage you to dig in even more to that. Maybe you are somebody that, you've done a little bit in all those areas, right? But you just need more. If you're already in a community, dig in a little bit more. If you're not, I invite you. I invite you to come along with me so I can be your guide. One of the gateways to this lifestyle is essential oils, and that is exactly why I spend so much time in that realm, is because that is one of the key tools for sure. And I think it opens up our minds to all the ways that we can really dig into this. And so that's exactly why I spend so much of my time in that realm. And so I'd love to walk alongside you with this. Reach out, reach out to me if I just want to know your thoughts on this. I honestly do. I love conversation around this. Like I said, I feel like it's not smart of myself or anybody else to be totally closed off to any point of view, because we can all find ways to work together in whatever we're doing, right? I want you to learn more about natural medicine, and I want to learn more about your approach so that I can help marry the two. And so I want to share that with you because I feel like this is such an important conversation to have. If we don't kind of figure out some sort of neutral ground with this, we're just going to get further and further and further apart. And that's not what I want. I want to get closer and closer and closer together. So it's like this. And so you can find your way in whatever you've been called to in your own health journey. So I just want to let you know that all this information is going to be on a blog post. And I'm also going to include 2 other workshops that you might want to check out if this subject really interests you. One is what place do medications have in a natural lifestyle? And then also, can RX meds and essential oils be used together? That's a question that I get a lot. And so both of those videos will be linked on the blog post that I'm going to put up right after I get off this call and get this recording linked up for you. And so if you want to share this with people, I'm going to share it on my IGTV. It'll be saved on my Facebook page as well. And it'll also I always put all this together on my website. So it's really easy for you to go there, go to the blog and find whatever kind of topic you're looking for. And so I just want to end with the fact that I'm just so thankful that I get to do this. I just feel like I said, God's called me to this. This is my passion. This is my ministry. It's something that I love coming alongside you and really going at this together, and the relationships that I've been blessed to have and continue to have. It's more than I could ask for. And so if you're looking for that, it's not more than a message away. And if you feel like I can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. Email, text, message, DM, whatever it is, just comment on this video. Let me know. And I hope you guys really take this to heart and just see where you are. Take a little bit of a self-inventory and see, like, where am I at with this? And what have I really been closed off to? And how can I open my mind to really, to just, my whole goal is to help you feel better and be healthier and just have more energy and have more clarity to do the things God's called you to do. And so taking this approach is going to allow you to do that. And so that's what I want for each and every one of you. And that's what I pray over you that you have more of in 2021 and beyond. And so thank you for watching today. Again, please share this out. I'm always grateful when you share my content, not just because it makes me feel great that you think about me enough to share it and think about the content enough, but because I want more people to know about this. It's about them and trying to reach more people that I could help. And so please feel, if you feel led, please share this out with your communities. And I would love to partner with you however you feel led. So I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you all later.